Hey everyone, welcome back to Besides the Point. How are you today, Miss Susie?
Same here. It's super hot.
It
Hot.
is.
I'm over it.
You're over it. You had a
Yep.
busy day out on the farm, so
Yeah. I'm
sure
gonna
it was a
throw the
hot
farm
day.
in the trash because it was hot.
It
Oh,
was
it's
hot.
so hot outside.
Yeah. She has a lot of animals.
And I question my decisions on that all the time. Like every
She
single day
always,
when I'm filling up those water troughs, I'm like, why am I out
mhm,
here?
she always be telling me, I'm getting rid of these animals. And I'm like, no, you're not, because you'll just get more.
I get two more.
For every one she gets rid of, she gets another one. And that's true. All
And
right.
facts. I love
Uh,
animals though. It's when it's hot here, it's hot.
It is. It's hot. I'm pretty sure it's as hot as it's hot. It's miserable.
It's miserably hot. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Um, I lost my anyways, today we are
Girl
gonna
squirrel. It's
squirrel.
okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what I'm supposed to say.
Just because you
That's
thought about
fine.
how hot you were outside today, and you're like, "Yeah, she's right. This sucks."
Yeah, it was so hot. So we're supposed to start doing videos on me going out to her farm because I it'll be hilarious because I'm not a farm person. I'm not a big
I'm like,
animal person. And so we've decided that we're gonna do days on the farm and we're gonna see how that rolls because
she's gonna scoop poop with me and feed chickens, and she's gonna
yeah,
scream and run, and we're gonna laugh, and it's gonna be fun.
yeah. Last time we were there, she has a little pig and he came walking out and my sister literally jumped on the counter and
She thought the pig was gonna get her.
she thought the pig was gonna get her. And I was like,
We should have
oh,
been filming that because
we should
that was
have because
hilarious.
the first time I met the pig, he was following behind me because she was getting him to go outside and Um, I thought he was gonna attack me, so I was, like, running, and she's like, "He's fine," and I'm like, "Oh, no, I don't trust him."
She's
Alright.
fine, I promise. She's actually more trained than a dog. She's one of the least messy animals in this house. It's bad when my
Mhm.
cats are more messy than the house pig.
Right, right. That's true. I'm just not you know
It's
me,
insane.
I'm just not a fan of
We're
anim
opposite spectrums. I'm like the animal lover, and
Mhm.
you're like, "No, I'm good."
She is. She had these ugly little rodents. I don't remember what they're called because I'm not a animal fan, but she'd call me and she'd be like, "Look at your nieces and nephews. Aren't they cute?" And I'm like, "No, they're hideous." What were
You're
they?
talking about the chinchillas.
The chinchillas, oh my god, and she was wanting me to love them so bad, and I'm like, I
They're
don't.
f they're friend-shaped.
No,
They're friend-shaped, Christy,
no,
friend-shaped.
no.
Yes.
Like, I love that you love them, but I
I loved them for about 2 months, and then I realized that they were friend-shaped, but also very messy.
yeah, and she was like, "You got to
Yeah.
go to a new home," and I was like, "See?
Yeah.
Now you're giving the nieces and
Mhm.
nephews up for adoption, and you wanted me to love them." Just
I mean,
couldn't.
they're doing great. I get updates all the time, it's fine.
She probably gets
It's
lots of
fine.
pictures, and I don't.
I actually do.
Alright, so today we're gonna talk about postpartum depression and mental health. We're just gonna give our opinions on it, and she's gonna talk about what she went through. We are not professionals, so we're not giving any advice or anything like that. There's a high profile case going around, and so we just want to make awareness because everybody deals or type of postpartum is different, right? There's some that's really low, and there's some that's really high. Um, so we just want to talk about it today. So, how do you feel about that?
I feel like there's definitely a need for awareness, education for women that it could happen to them. I feel like it's a subject that is not spoke about
Mhm. It's kinda
at all.
taboo.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely
Um,
taboo, and it can happen to anybody.
right. And some of us are fortunate enough it not to happen to. But I feel like
Mhm.
because it doesn't happen to so many people, they can't rationalize when it does happen to somebody and they don't have empathy for it or anything like that because they just can't understand. And I think that we need to try to understand more before we judge somebody.
I agree. I feel like humans in general confuse sympathy with empathy. And what I mean by that is sympathy, right? You feel sorry for somebody's situation
Right,
versus empathy. You're just relating to their human experience
right,
being what it is. It could be tragic, it could be calm, it could be whatever. But I think a lot of people look at like this high profile case and they can't sympathize, which
right,
it's tragic. There was, children that died in this case, particularly, but you're not having empathy for the whole picture. It's a bigger picture than the headlines put out.
right, right. Okay. So right now we're going to talk about her experience and then we are going to go into the what her thoughts are from what she went through to what the lady that is on trial is going through. Okay. So number one question was what was your experience with postpartum anxiety like?
It was living hell. I was literally trapped in my own head almost
Right,
immediately after giving birth. I literally was not me from the moment I
right,
had that kid. And that kid, like he's not my son. From the moment I had him, it I wasn't me. And it was which is why I say that it's not talked about enough because I mean, my first child he was adopted at birth and I was never supposed to have kids. So that experience with motherhood was like the dream, right? Like the golden, I didn't have any hormones. I got to take a pretty baby home from the hospital. And then my second one, the one I was never supposed to have, I have all these hormonal changes and nobody warned me about it.
right. Right. I mean, with any of my kids, I was never warned that that could be a thing or the
Hmm.
symptoms or watch out for anything. The first time I ever experienced anything like it, it was one of my friends, and she came up to us and was like, "I think I need to go to the doctors." And I was like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "I want to hurt my baby, and I know that that's not okay, and I need to talk to somebody." And I
Hmm.
was like, "What?" Like, never had heard of it, never had been talked to about it, and luckily, she was able to say, "Hey, I feel some type of way, and I need to do something about it." But unfortunately, there are people that are scared, like, for you, for
Hmm.
instance, you talked about it, but let's talk about what you were scared about when you came out and said, "Hey, I'm feeling this way."
I was scared to walk into the doctor's office and tell them that I wanted to harm my baby because I was experiencing the very high side, much like the person on trial right now in this high profile case. I had postpartum anxiety, I had postpartum depression, I had postpartum psychosis. So for me, walking in there, I literally walked in there with tears in my eyes thinking she was going to call CPS on me.
Right,
But I knew I couldn't continue to not get help because I knew what I was experiencing. I shouldn't be experiencing it, but you can't stop it. Like you just literally cannot stop it.
right. And I think that's more normal for anybody that they don't wanna talk to somebody and say, "Hey, I'm feeling these ways," because that's not the
Hmm.
norm, right? And they don't wanna be
Right.
judged, and they don't want somebody to, you know, take their baby from them or think badly
Hmm.
of them, but when you're going through something like that, it's a disorder, you can't control it. It's not like you can just
Right.
be like, "I don't wanna feel this way," and it's just gonna go away, right? So,
Hmm.
I think it should be talked about more, and I think they
Absolutely.
should give you those when you're going
Hmm.
to the doctors and all that stuff, that it should be something like maybe a class or like, back when I had kids, they give you the Mommy and Me book or whatever.
Right.
There's so many
Let's
things
see,
that they
my hospital did a video. Like this is a video, not to shake your baby, but it wasn't a video of the woman. What is the woman going through?
right, right, and I don't think we talk about that enough. Okay,
Absolutely not.
so
And it starts differently for everybody.
right, okay, so, um, when did you first start noticing the symptoms, and what were they?
When I took him home. So when I took him home, everything was what I thought was fine, until I would be doing certain things. So for instance, I needed to cook dinner for my oldest son, and I would attempt to go into the kitchen with the baby. And immediately, I have never ever been a visual person. Like you can't tell me, hey, I've got a purple pear and I see it in my mind. I've just never been a visual person like that. But at that point in time, I'd walk in the kitchen and I would see like flashes of, and it's unrealistic. And I knew it was unrealistic, but it was so real to me that I'd leave the kitchen, but it like the knife would fly out of the thing and get my baby. So it was almost immediately when I took him home. And I mean everything was a danger. I couldn't walk by the fireplace because what if I tripped or I passed out and his head smashed into the brick? And it was weird though because it was very visual. Like I would see it happening in my head. And
Right.
so eventually I just avoided anything that could hurt him. I wouldn't go near anything holding that baby. I would put him somewhere safe.
So when did you start feeling like so you didn't wanna go around things because you were scared that he was gonna get hurt, but when did the feeling of it was going to be you that could hurt him start?
Probably when he was about, mm, I'd say 3 months old. I was sitting in my bathtub taking a bath and it just hit me out of nowhere. And I started like thinking about I need to get rid of him. But it wasn't just him. It was everybody in the house. And I couldn't logically understand like why I was thinking that. So my psychosis took a minute to catch up to me, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Well, say it like it can happen within the year, right? It's like
Hmm.
it doesn't just happen immediately for some people.
Right.
And I say some people it can be your baby's a year old and it can happen.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
how I think we already kind of like talked about it without talking about it, but how did you um get diagnosed and what was the process like?
So I told my son's father, my husband at the time, what I was thinking and how I was feeling. And we immediately went to my gyno. My gyno was really, really good. And I was bawling, girl. I just knew she was going to call CPS. I felt like I was a bad mom. Like I had all this shame just walking in that office. And she asked me one question. She goes, well, when you thought that, what did you do? And I said, well, I put him down and told his dad and we came here. Like I walked away, but at that point when I went in, I was never left alone again. I literally had a babysitter for a year of my life
Right. Your husband quit
because
his
he
job.
took me that serious. Yeah, he quit his job. He did not work. And so he started like probably 6 months into me getting better. Not, I wouldn't say getting better, but getting treatment and trying to get better. He'd get side jobs and then he wouldn't go do those until his mother could sit with me. Like I literally had a babysitter, but I begged him, do not leave me here with these kids.
Right.
I begged him and begged him, do not. And he took me serious. He's like, okay, well, I won't. I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. So
See, when my second son was born, he was very colicky. He screamed constantly. I never
that was mine.
ever thought about hurting him ever, but I the thought of my husband at the time leaving me there with him freaked me out, and I would lose my mind. Like I would freak out, I'd cry, I'd throw a fit like a 2-year-old, like I'd hit myself and beg him, "Please don't leave me here with them." I thought
Right.
about hurting myself, but I never ever thought about hurting him. So I mean, I don't know if that's a form of something different, but, like, it was really hard for the
You'd
first
be
year, like
postpartum anxiety, most
yeah,
likely.
like, I did not wanna be left with him. Um,
Right.
I felt like he didn't wanna be around me, and all
Hmm.
he did was cry, and it was, like, super hard, but again, it's not the same as what you went through, but, um
And I think that played into mine too, though, because my youngest son was very colic. He screamed
mhm,
13 hours a day. When I was
yeah,
near him, he screamed more. I felt like he hated me, and I'm like, "Just get this baby away from me." And I would
mhm,
literally take my oldest son, and I would go in the bedroom, and we'd watch Spider-Man, whatever. We'd watch cartoons, and I'd leave the baby with his dad. "Here,
right.
you take care of him," because he obviously don't want me. I mean, I've fed him, I've changed him, I've tried to play with him, like, he's just not having it. But they can
So
feel too, like,
yeah, they can feel
babies
it.
feel it.
And
Mhm,
I think that's what my son's problem was too, because I was anxious to be left with
mhm,
him. Um, and our bond, I mean, I love him to death, and he's a grown adult now, but I feel like our his dad took care of him a lot, and his bond with his
Hmm.
dad was stronger than his bond with me, even as his, like, teenage years and stuff, because I feel like he could feel that, right? He could feel
Right.
the tension, and he could feel, and it wasn't that I didn't love him, because I did love him unconditionally. It was just that I felt like I wasn't good enough for him, or, like, I don't know how to explain, like, I couldn't nurture him like he
He
needed,
needed it. Yeah.
and, but yeah, I
Because you
didn't
weren't in the right spot to do it.
yeah, I was very overwhelmed, and I was 18 with 2 kids. I had my kids 10.5 months apart. So I had
Right.
2 young kids, and I mean, I don't feel like I had like you had, support with your
Right.
spouse. Mine would go to work, come home and play basketball, and I was constantly left with 2 little kids. It didn't matter how much I cried or I was just
Right.
constantly left with them. And,
So the stress wasn't alleviated even for 10 minutes. Yeah.
right. I mean, there was times I would lock myself in the bathroom just to get a 5-minute break. I'm like,
Right.
I need to yeah.
I need to go to the restroom. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I'll come out later. Um,
Right.
okay, so I have a question. So, this is kinda off this, but so the fear of them being hurt, that lasted a lot longer than the fear of the feeling of hurting them, because you dealt with that for many years.
Yeah. Absolutely. I
Mm,
still think of that. It's my worst fear. It's something happened to them and I can't control it.
right, but you've
Hmm.
gotten better through the years, because
I make
before
myself. Hmm.
yeah, she had her knives locked up in the top
Hmm.
cupboard for many years, and I think that goes back to her having visions of a knife falling. Like she said, even though she knew that that couldn't happen, it was still a fear of hers.
Hmm.
Um, your kids going places without you was a fear of yours. Um,
And I still make myself do it. So like, with my oldest son, of course, he was adopted at birth, and then when we found out his paternity as far as his biological father, he does come down and they have a relationship and he spends time with them. And the last time he was here, he asked me, "Can I take them to lunch?" And it wasn't just my oldest, it was both of the boys. And I didn't want to let them go, but I let them go because I have to let them experience life. And because I know a lot of it is an irrational fear, even to this day. And my youngest son is almost 13.
mhm,
I know it's an irrational fear. I know that they are safe with him. I know, you know what I mean? Like I knew nothing was going to happen, but at the same time, I can't control it. So I didn't want them to go, but I let them. They went and had lunch and had a good time and came home.
yeah. I mean, she's gotten a lot better about it, right? Because now her youngest son is in ballet, and he gets dropped off by himself, and that is a
And I
big step
leave.
for her. Yes, and that's a major step for her. Um, but what do you my question, I guess, was, do you think that what caused that was the visions of you seeing them get hurt and watching it happen?
I think so. Yeah.
That's what yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
how did you work on that? Because I think that's a good thing for that even though that you're not 100% perfect at it. I mean,
Hmm.
nobody is when they have fears, but you've done from when I first moved here the very first time till now, you've done a 360. So that's to me is progress. And how do
A
you
lot of
think
self talk.
a lot of self-talk. Okay.
Self talk is definitely something that I even encourage, even at work, um, is self talk. Like what you tell yourself becomes reality. And
Mhm.
so I have learned to distinguish, like, I am not a person who will never go with my intuition. Now, if my intuition tells me something, I've learned to distinguish, okay, this is an irrational fear, but this is your intuition.
Right.
And so now, like, if it's just an irrational fear, I have to tell myself, like, girl, stop. Stop.
Yeah.
Those babies ain't gonna be with you forever. Stop. Let them do things just like, we just went on vacation. Did I
Mhm.
want them to ride that ride 17 times like they did, going 74 miles an hour upside down doing loops? Absolutely not. Did I watch Absolutely not, but I let them
Right, and 4 years
because
ago,
I
she
did that.
4 years ago, she would that wouldn't have been a thing.
Girl, we wouldn't have went on vacation. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
there would have
We
been
would
no
have
way.
not. No.
Mm-mm.
And
So,
then,
that
they get off the rides and they're like, "Mom, like, it's so much G-force. Like, I'm jumping out of my seat. I thought I was gonna fall out." And I'm like, "Oh, see,
right,
this is why I didn't want you to go on it." And I'm like, "Have fun." Because
right,
you know what? I did all those things as a kid and
you did.
teenager. Like, my granny had let me do what I wanted. And it's like, you have to let them do things.
You have to, yeah,
You can't
but
control it. I don't know if that thing's gonna come open and you're gonna fall out. I don't know if you're not. Like, you can't control it.
right, right, you can't, but it's still a fear, and I think that
Mhm.
you, um, are better now at, like you said, like, your gut feeling and the irrational feelings, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I just wanted to know where you thought that stemmed from. Um, what are some things that, um wow, I lost my spot. Oh, dang, I just messed up. Okay.
You're fine, girl, you're fine.
Uh, what are some things that are common, um, mis um, about, like, not that you don't feel is misunderst like, there's misunderst I'm saying the word I'm saying it wrong, but,
Like a
like,
common misunderstanding of postpartum issues?
yeah, that's a good way to say it.
I feel like people view women that don't appear to have it all together or that are struggling as bad moms. And I feel like that goes into play with women seeking help because they don't want the outside world to judge them.
Right,
Because
right,
women are the caregivers. We have to hold it all together. We have to take care of the kids. And so a lot of women just won't seek help at all.
right, and I think they don't reach out to their friends or anybody because
Mm-mm.
the scare of judgment, right? Because I don't wanna tell my friend if I'm having this problem, if they're gonna judge me or go
Mhm.
talk and gossip about it,
Yep.
and I feel like we need more of a women's support group, not like a fake
Mhm.
support group where they go and they leave and they're gossiping about everybody. Ones that
Like a real one.
really yeah, like you're really there because you really care and you
Mhm.
wanna I think it just needs to be understood more, right? Like,
Yeah.
and talked about, and you should be able to feel comfortable saying, "Hey, I'm feeling this way." And
Mhm.
what do you feel about when people come and say, "I'm feeling this way," and they're disregarded?
They probably won't ever tell you again.
Right. So do you feel like, say, if your husband would have disregarded you and something would have happened, do you feel that he should be reliable just as well as much as you should be?
Absolutely.
Right.
Because he is those kids' father.
Right.
So if he would have not took me seriously and let's say I was the high profile case,
Mhm.
when you're in a psychosis moment, you don't realize what's going on
Right.
at all. And so I say I was lucky because I was able to stop it, right? Like I was like, hey, something's got to happen. I got to go to the doctor. Like something ain't right. But that's not the case for all women. And from my experience, medication didn't work. They had me on 7, 8 different psych meds, and none of them worked. It actually made it worse. And the thing about it is, one of those psych meds made it where I was terrified to be left with them at all because I didn't care about nothing. Like
Right.
you could just tell me anything, and I was numb.
Mhm.
So how can somebody physically stop themselves from doing something if they're having a psychotic break or psychosis, and then the medication you have them on is actually making it where the feelings ain't there anyway?
Right. And, let's also talk about this because I don't think this is talked about enough. Your hormones were your worst enemy for years, right?
Absolutely.
And you getting a hysterectomy was the best thing that
Life
happened to you.
changing.
Yes, because it was your hormones were making you feel crazy,
Hmm.
angry, And I don't think that's talked about enough either. Um,
No,
your hormones can do tricky things, and
absolutely.
the sad thing is when they put you on hormone stuff or like when you just have a baby, they don't check your hormone levels. They don't give you a blood
Mm-mm.
test. They just put you on some medicine. And that is so dangerous because they don't know exactly what hormones you need where and what, right?
Right.
And instead of putting people on psych meds, if your
Hmm.
hormones are unbalanced, you can feel like a
Right.
walking basket case. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately for me, mine's different. I don't have any hormones right now and I feel like I'm going crazy. But when
See, and I feel
she
golden.
yeah, hers is different. Her
I haven't had
hormones made her
hormones in
feel
years,
crazy.
and I'm loving it. Yeah.
Yeah, so my suggestion, and I'm not a doctor, but my suggestion to anybody out there that is feeling like that after having a baby, or even, like, not after having a baby, like, it could be years down the road and you're still feeling like that,
Hmm.
get your hormones checked. Don't just go to a doctor and ask to be put on hormones, literally get them checked. Get your
Get them
blood
checked.
test,
Yeah.
see what hormones you're lacking, like, what ones you need.
Hmm.
Don't just let them put you on hormones and 'cause
Right.
that's not just how that works. Like, your body has so
No.
much hormones in it, and say you're have this much of this hormone and you're low on this hormone. If they just give you the hormone pill,
Hmm.
they're not balancing your hormones. They're just yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's where
what
I was fortunate because my doctor was very educated in hormones. So, like, the first doctors I saw were psyched. For some reason, at least in my case, with postpartum issues, the first thing I want to look at is your brain, right? So by the time I got to my gyno, like, hey, this really these thoughts are increasing, and this is what I'm experiencing. She started quite like asking me questions that I thought were a little out of the normal, but like, hey, how often do you get these severe thoughts where you want to harm everyone in the house and yourself? Like in that moment, you see yourself doing it. And I was like, every 2 to 3 weeks. So I got a separate diagnosis, which was PMDD,
mhm,
and mine was hormonal. So when she checked my hormones, what was happening is my hormones, like right before a cycle, would climb, 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 and most women taper. Mine would climb and tank. So I'd be high, 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 and none.
mhm,
And she was like, "I know how to fix you. We're taking you off every segment." I owe that doctor my entire life because
right,
she literally, I think, saved me and my kids.
mhm. Because once she got a hysterectomy, it wasn't perfect, right? She still had those, the fears of her kids getting hurt, but because your hormones still stay in your body for it has to dissipate, right? For
Hmm.
a little bit.
I
It's
struggled for about 6 months, but my doctor made me take an injection for a year before she agreed to do my hysterectomy because I was 37 when she removed everything.
mm,
And so once she started giving me the injection, I immediately noticed a difference. And then
right.
after the hysterectomy, I can rationalize with myself now where I couldn't before.
That's what I was gonna say. I think that her getting the hysterectomy helped her being able to rationalize things and helped
Mhm.
her being able to let her kids go and do things that feared her before and she couldn't do it. So for her, the hysterectomy was the best thing that she did because it helped
Mhm.
her be able to deal with those fears that before she couldn't. I mean, for years, for how long she couldn't even leave her house. So,
I didn't leave my house for 3.5 years.
yeah. And I
Yep.
think a lot of that, they wanna just put you on psych meds, and she
Mhm.
wasn't crazy. It was her hormone making her crazy. So the psych meds made it
Yeah.
worse because it wasn't her brain, it was her
Mhm.
hormones. So I just
Yeah.
think you wanna be really careful with that, and you don't wanna just go to the first doctor and let them
Right.
yeah. I mean,
Or
they
I
wanna
told us like doctors, like, you keep changing my medicine. You have me on
mhm,
this, then you have me on this, and you have me on this. And I don't have time to play. I don't have
right,
time to play with my children's lives because you want to experiment to see what works in my brain.
right,
I cannot do this. Like, I don't
yeah,
want to hurt my kids.
right. And I'm sure there's some kinda test that they could do on your brain to see if the if that if that's what's going on, right? I
Most
mean,
of the time, but most of the time they won't do it.
they won't do
Yeah.
it, but I feel
Mhm.
like, they should take it seriously. So,
Mhm.
what advice would you give to a new parent that's struggling? Or did I already ask that?
You didn't.
Oh,
Mm-mm. So my biggest advice would be is to have a person. whether that's your spouse, whether that's your mother, a grandparent, a friend, but really have a person. Don't have a
Yeah,
person that just says they're your person, right? You need to actually have support because a lot of women that don't have the support, they're failed by the
right,
people that they reached out to, the medication, the doctors, the people that they tried to get help from. And not everybody's your person. I lost a 15-year friendship over mine
right,
by one comment. Well, can't you just get over it? Well, don't you think if I could just get over it, if it was like some flippy switch up here, I wouldn't be telling anybody?
right. It doesn't
Yeah,
work that
I
way.
lost all respect. I very
Right,
minimally talked to that person. I could care ever again to hang out. Like
right,
I needed somebody in that moment. In that moment, literally, I would not wish on my worst enemy
right,
because I know
right,
what it felt like to be trapped in my own head for almost 3 years. I mean, I was a shut-in for 3 years because when I was going through that for a year, I created other issues for myself, right? So if I went somewhere and had a panic attack, then I would avoid that place. Well, eventually you avoid all the places.
right,
And so then I had to do exposure therapy on myself. And I literally remember walking into a grocery store in the door and bawling for no reason, fearful of my life. Like my flight response was just activated all the time. And I'd go back to my car and then the next day I'd do it for, go a little bit further. And I had to train my brain that these situations weren't going to hurt me.
right.
Otherwise, we would have never left the house again, ever.
Mhm, mhm. And now when she goes
Yeah,
to the
they need a
grocery store,
person.
she's a badass with a shopping cart that will run your ass over if you're in her way. So
I get the hell out of my way, girl. Who you playing? I'm lazy. I do delivery, okay? Because
well,
I don't
now
like
she's
people,
COVID, but
and my
before
voice
that,
is nice, but my eyebrows will tell you you're retarded. Get the hell out of my way.
yeah, she'd be angry.
I am
So
angry.
that's
I
that's
have
why
shopping rage.
she does. She'd be like, "Don't you know I'm coming? Like, move on over. Like, I'm
Like
here."
the queen is here. Move out of my way. Yeah,
Uh,
I just don't like to shop. But
yes,
yeah, they definitely need a person. And if that person isn't helping, find another person because really
right.
everybody needs a person.
Everybody does need a person.
Even
What
when
do
you're
you?
mentally okay, you need a
Yeah,
person. I mean, come
yeah,
on.
you do, because like
I'll be your person. I'm not even playing. Reach out to me. I'll be your person. I get
we're
you help.
not none. Let's be real. Nobody is mentally okay. Nobody. Like we
Mm-mm.
all have hardships and struggles that we deal with, and
Every single person.
but you don't. A lot of times you want to hide it because you don't want the judgment of like, why are you
Yeah.
upset? It's not that big of a deal. It might not be a big deal to
Yeah.
you, but today it's a big deal to me. And there's sometimes where
Right.
I'll be like, oh my gosh, I was all upset about that for no reason. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Hmm.
But in the moment, it was a big deal. And
Right.
sometimes you just want to talk to somebody too. You don't want them to fix you. You just want to be able
Hmm.
to, I can't speak for,
Just vent.
yeah, you just want to be able to vent. Like sometimes I need to hear
Hmm.
myself say it because if I just
Right.
sit there and think about it and think about it, I'll make a whole scenario up in my head that's crazy as hell. And when it comes out my
Right.
mouth, I'm like, what the hell did I just
Like,
say?
who
Like,
is you? What'd you
actually
just
scratch
say?
that. I didn't mean a word of it, but I needed
Right.
to hear it because I will sit there and just make a whole scenario up in my head and then it's
Hmm.
not reality. But if
Yeah.
if I'm talking to somebody and they're trying to fix the problem and telling me all the things that I don't want to talk anymore because I'm just talking
Right.
to vent and like
Hmm.
if it's something that like I need help with, then yeah. But if I'm just venting, I don't want you to
Hmm.
try to fix it or anybody to try to fix it because I just want you
Right.
to be there because I just need to vent. And I feel like a lot of people shut down when people try to fix it or like, well, you could have done this. Well, why didn't you do this? Well,
Hmm.
because I didn't, obviously. And,
Right.
you know, like, or I
And
couldn't
that
have
rolls
done
back
it.
to the sympathy versus empathy. That's like you
Yeah.
telling me something that's super heavy on you, and you're like, hey, I'm getting divorced.
Right.
And I look at you and be like, well, at least you have a marriage. Who wants to hear that?
Nobody.
You're not giving empathy.
No.
You're giving sympathy because you're trying to fix something or just like
Right.
shush it away, right? Like you're not listening.
At all. Or like,
Right. Not at
if
all.
if I'm saying I'm having a bad day, right? Doctors will tell you, well, you have a lot on your plate. Well, what
Hmm.
that's on my plate would you like me to take off? Because that's not
Right.
helping me. You're not helping me.
Hmm.
Everybody in the world has a lot on their plate. So,
Hmm.
would you like me to get rid of the husband, the kids, the grandkids? Like, what the job? Like, where?
Right.
Can I take from? I can't. So you saying, "Well, you're putting too much on your plate," is not helping me because
Mm-mm.
there's nothing I can take
Right.
from. It's not like I'm
I can
adding
take
to.
from that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have to be that, right?
Hmm.
So, like, people just need to be careful of what they say because you can make people shut down by just one word. Like she
Hmm.
said, like, "Can't you just get," or what did she say?
Can't you just get over it?
Yeah, "Can't you just get
Very
over it?"
condescending.
Yeah,
I got over it all right. I lost your phone number too.
right.
Oh
Uh,
wait, no, I didn't. I still got it. I just choose not to call it because
come
you
on,
know
you.
what? I'm almost 50 years old. I don't got time for it. I don't.
Right, right,
I would never tell you. Could you imagine like going to like even any situation, a grieving parent? Can you get over that? Who says that to people? I would
right. Like,
never say, "Can you just get over that?"
no, and it's hard. Like, say, like when somebody loses somebody, right?
Mhm.
Saying sorry for your loss too. Like sometimes it's so hard to say something because it's like, what do you say? Like
Right.
so people get sick of hearing sorry for your loss, but there's nothing I can say to
Mhm.
make it better. And
Right.
like, what do you say to I wouldn't be like, well, it happens. I mean, like,
No.
because the fact of the matter is we're all going to die. Like, there's no way
Right.
of getting around
That's the
it.
only guarantee in life. Yeah.
Guaranteed you're gonna pass away someday.
Right.
So,
Right.
but to tell somebody, well, it was bound to happen. Like,
No, you just need to sit with them in that moment. I mean, you know my grandfather's situation. He
right,
decided he was done. Well, um, my friend, her mom decided she was done. And it was right when I first met her. And I literally just told her, just let me know what I can do for you because there's nothing I can say right now that's going to make this better.
right,
And I just sat there with her because
right.
there's not.
There's nothing you can do. There
Mm-mm.
really isn't. And
Just sit with the
sometimes,
person, be present with them, try to have the empathy, not
yeah,
sympathy, but the empathy.
right,
Like
exactly,
we're humans, everybody's human experience is different. Like me and you could do the same thing and experience the same thing, and both of our experiences are different.
right, exactly, 100%. What do you wish more people knew about postpartum?
That it is more, that it's more current than I think. This is just my opinion. It's more current than statistics.
Mm, I
The
would agree
problem
with you.
lies in women not saying anything.
Mhm,
It's more prevalent than people think.
right, and I feel like there's a lot of women that do say stuff and probably to their spouse, and
Hmm.
it goes nowhere past that because they don't want
Right.
to ruin the image. I feel like a lot of people are
Right.
about the image, right? They don't really
Hmm.
care about what you're feeling, they care about their image. But
Their
when it
image,
comes to
yeah.
something like that, your image is not important because your image is gonna be
Mm-mm.
ruined later because this person came for you for help, and now look what happened, right?
Look what happened.
So,
Yeah.
I feel like if you speak to your husband or your mother or and they're just like, because like, some people are like, "Just push it on the rug, let's pretend like it was never said, and, you'll be okay."
Right.
You should really speak to somebody else. Don't
Hmm.
especially when it comes to something like that, because it's real and it happens. And if you're feeling those feelings, don't be scared to go outside of your family and tell somebody because
And
you'd
reach
rather
out to as many people as you need to.
until somebody listens because you would
Right.
hate something to happen out of your control.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that note, we are going to end here on that, and we are going to go. The next episode is going to be about Lindsay. What's her?
Plan C.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk about that. So if you guys would like to listen on some more about postpartum, come to the next episode. Thank you.